Trust black women, they lead the way. Trust black women, they lead the way.
Meanwhile,
the way I think about it, we all are so used to paying taxes. We're so used to it. We have like Stockholm syndrome. Don't stop the Internal Revenue Service, God forbid. How about this? The rest of the world leans on our economy, breathes off our economy. Not only is our economy $29 trillion GDP, but we consume $20 trillion a year. We are the buyer of everybody's stuff. We buy everybody's stuff. So who's more important, the people who sell stuff or the people who buy stuff? So we are the buyer of everybody's commodities, products, goods and services. Everything comes from us, right? Let them pay a membership fee. We all understand that model. Let them pay. How about we, you and I, and every single person we know pay less? How about no tax on tips?
yes!
How about no tax on overtime?
Yes.
How about no Social Security?
Hell to the yeah.
How about all those things? These are the kind of thoughts that will change America. I know what his goal is. No tax for anybody who makes less than $150,000 a year. That's his goal.
My man.
The average income is around $35,000 to $75,000 a year. That means that two people with a combined average income still wouldn't earn $150,000 a year. So married couples who are average earners would qualify. And if this was to pass, what communities do y'all think would benefit the most? The same communities that want you to believe that you some kind of sellout if you in favor of this current administration. Now, to set the record clear, this is mostly speculation as to what would get pushed after they balance the budget.
You said on CBS that President Trump wants no taxes on people making below $150,000 annually, and our sources are saying that the Treasury Department doesn't have any plan to put that into action.
No, that's taking it out of context. What we discussed was when the president balances the budget, his first move is going to be, he has suggested that he would like to waive taxes for people under $150,000.
So when should Americans expect a balanced budget by? What is the goal on that, Howard?
I love that question. Think about it. Our objective is during President Trump's term.
That's my dog. That's my dog.
With Doge cutting the funding of stupid programs that don't benefit nobody but the money laundering shadow government, I actually see this happening because people of lower income are the biggest consumers, and Elon and Trump are oligarchs, and oligarchs love consumers.
That's a good point. You've got a good point.
The proof is when the Biden administration handed out those stimulus checks and everybody that was broke was balling for a week. So based on that, you can predict what's gonna happen economically when average earners' gross pay becomes their net pay. This is good news for small content creators as well, because not everybody is making $150K a year off their social media, but you will pay taxes on everything you make. If this eventually does go into effect, then it would be safe to say that Trump is the best president that we've ever had in modern American history. But if we would have listened to the majority of black women, then the only people not paying taxes would still be the illegals. While we over here worried about balancing the budget, what's going viral is black women worrying about balancing multiple baby daddies.
Miss Badu was on The Breakfast Club recently, and I absolutely loved her interview. She had bars. She had a word for us today, ladies. And I'm not sure if the interview was today or whatever the day was, but I happened to see it across my timeline today, where she was, someone made a clip about having multiple baby daddies. And girl, that one definitely spoke to me. Having but one baby daddy, right? That one actually really spoke to me because it was it's very eye-opening. If you haven't seen the interview of Miss Erykah Badu on The Breakfast Club, then go and watch it. Go and watch it. I'm gonna have to go and watch it. I have not seen the whole thing yet, but that clip has me sold. I'm gonna have to go and watch it. So
I didn't know. No one would expect to have 3 baby daddies. Who plans that? Mm-hmm. But when those things start to happen, you don't stop living. You continue to grow and live and learn and make the best out of those situations and things. Who would want to do that? You know, in this judgmental society. Everything else is on you. Depending on your culture, next step is marriage, or the next step is another mate. The next step is whatever. In our culture, the next step is supposed to be marriage. And it doesn't fit everybody. That doesn't fit me, you know. And marriage is in this country a culture. It's a culture. You're supposed to do a certain thing. So because we're all individual beings, everybody does not have relationship skills.
Trust black women, they lead the way. Trust black women, they lead the way.
Fellas, this is why we need proper men in our community, because women like this are not rare, they are the majority. And they out here voting for the party that protects and enables this bull crap.
Right now, the only candidate in this race is Kamala Harris and Tim Walz. Those are the only two candidates in this race who want to protect women's health care, reproductive rights, who want to protect trans rights, who want to protect the LGBTQIA plus rights. I'm queer, I'm non-binary, I'm black.
I'm here to tell you right now, we don't care.
I'm not about to play the rest of that clip because it's stupid and Erica was taken out of context. And I'm not about to waste your time on this video because some Jezebel wanted to justify some Jezebelian behavior.
Next!
Housing is another thing people are upset about because home ownership is something most people won't have access to.
But I think it's important to talk about the demand side of the housing market. And so much of what we're doing in the Trump administration when it comes to the immigration issue is framed about law enforcement, about reducing fentanyl coming into our communities. And that is true. That is a big part of why we're doing what we're doing at the border. But when we talk about housing and why costs are so high, we don't talk enough about demand. And one of the drivers of increased housing demand, we know, is that we've got a lot of people over the last 4 years who have come into the country illegally. And that's something we have to work on if we want to meaningfully reduce the cost of housing too. Now just think about this. If you allow 20 million people to compete with American citizens for the cost of homes, you are going to have a large and frankly completely preventable spike in the demand for housing. And that is what we, of course, have seen, because while we made it a little bit hard to build homes in this country over the last 4 years, we've also, unfortunately, made it way too easy for people to compete against American citizens for the precious homes that are in our country to begin with.
He ain't lying.
Now, I'll say this, it's actually not just an American problem either. If you go to Canada, where because of their laws and regulations, they've seen a massive increase in the number of people who have come into their country. You go to the United Kingdom, you go across the world, and you see a very consistent relationship between a massive increase in immigration and a massive increase in housing prices. And we have to be honest about that. Well, I see one of our nice representatives out here wants to actually, I guess, continue to flood the country with illegal immigrants, making your communities and citizens unaffordable. But ma'am, with all respect, one of the reasons why we're doing what we're doing is because we want to make it more affordable for Americans to live.
Now, we not gonna sit here and pretend that institutional investors like BlackRock ain't the #1 reason that housing has skyrocketed. But we also don't need illegal immigration being anywhere on that list as well. And if people would have voted for Kamala like most black women wanted, then these homes would have turned into cartel strongholds. Fact. We know the real reason why they wanted to vote for Kamala. Black women wanted to delete babies so bad that your neighbors would have ended up being the Escobars and the El Chapos. Man, y'all let me know what y'all think about this video, man. Like, comment, share, and subscribe, and I'ma holla at y'all next time.
No one would expect to have 3 baby daddies. Who plans that?
Trust black women, they lead the way. Trust black women, they lead women, stop abandoning your sisters. Trust black women, they lead the way.
Go home, get a job. Get a job.